Hello world, and welcome to Arch.fro. I've been trying to start this video, I don't know how many times now. It's been probably 20 attempts, and I wasn't understanding why it was so hard to introduce that I was going to do a New Year's drawing, until I realized it's because it's the new year. How do you talk about the new year and make it make sense? So that's what I'm trying again. I'm trying not to introduce the video, but to say that I acknowledge the fact that 2019 is a year we haven't had before. We've never seen it before, therefore we don't know exactly what's going to happen. For me, 2018 changed many times. I started off thinking I was going to go straight into masters. I thought I was going to be in the job I was at the beginning of the year. I thought I was going to be able to travel and visit family anytime I wanted, but that's not how it worked out. I'm very happy with how 2018 went, but to tell you what 2019 is going to be like, that's going to be a lot harder. So instead of talking about 2019, I'm going to be drawing my celebration image for 2019, but talking about the important lessons I learned the years before. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you at the end. So it's a new year, but we're talking about the old me. In today's video, I am really looking back at the years that developed the person that Arch.fro eventually became. And that person was an art-loving high schooler back in 2013 who decided to go to architecture school kind of on a whim. Then I just realized how much I like it. For me, the choice to do architecture was based mostly on the fact that I loved art, but I wanted to do something that incorporated more of a technical side to it, and something that I felt I could develop more from. Not saying that art isn't something that you could develop from, but it was just not really the path that I felt was right for me. So when I started, I had my first interview, which was with a panel of my future lecturers, and they just, sat there, asked me questions. I thought I was being very pleasant, and I answered them. I showed them my portfolio, and it went kind of smoothly. Then months later, I got my acceptance letter, and I started that August. Just entering architecture school, you feel this sense of, oh, I'm going to be an adult now. I'm going to have all these great experiences, and I'm going to make so many friends, and I'm going to just reinvent myself. I was a really shy kid going straight through my life, and I thought university was going to be the turning block. It kind of was. My first week, I stood in front of the class and I made an announcement, not something I was told to do. I just decided I was going to go get some materials and share it with everybody. And when I did it, I got to know people. That was my first real step into breaking out of my shyness. Class-wise, I was doing pretty okay. For all the creative assignments and things like iStudio, which was mostly art based, it was a great, fun experience for me. I got to utilize some of those skills that I was really hoping to develop as artistically as possible, but also I got to tie in some technical side to it. I got to learn more about drawing hard lines with pencil and being very precise in Hand Studio. Then I got to learn more about the thought process behind architecture in Head Studio. We're not going to talk about the math and the physics and the structures here, but that also existed. I would say that some of the greatest lessons we learned had a lot to do with composition and with graphic representation of our work, which I've taken into my artwork now. You may have noticed that I started with pencil in doing up this Happy New Year 2019. I wanted you to see the process from beginning to end, and then I outlined with microns. I like microns because of their fine point and their smooth line work. That's something that I realized how much I liked while in architecture school. Then one of the techniques they taught us was poching, which I use here to fill in my dark areas. In architecture, you would use it whenever you have a cut line or a section line, which is to cut through the building and you're seeing that cut edge of the wall, or if you're cutting it in plan, you're seeing that cut edge looking down, and it gives a lot of contrast and it gives you that good sense of what is solid versus void. So I've used that to really frame and create the composition of my drawing here. It was a very quick sketch that I did without really planning ahead of time, but it still utilizes the techniques and those elements. So while in school, I realized how much I loved having a sketchbook. Not just for my assignments where I'm just coming up with ideas and putting them down on paper, but just the quiet moments that you'd have. So maybe today you're talking about making forms and showing depth through shading and shadows and all of those things. I took that lesson and then I started making dots, just making a lot of dots to represent what I just learned. Then I would just go further and start making little loops and weird designs in the dots, and all of that just came together. From these drawings, I sparked even more drawings going forward using different techniques, different line weights, and different types of lines too. And I started branching out into just testing out pens and other tools. So some of my favorite ones were the repeatographs with the refillable ink cartridges. I used pilot pens and microns like I am today, and a few times I used Sharpies, which you're seeing me fill in those darker areas. So that's the poche I was talking about before. But those drawings that I would do, I posted them on my main Instagram account, and they were very scattered and far between. So I wasn't really that invested in those drawings. I continued school and I graduated eventually in 2017, and I just started working after that. It was internship followed by somewhat of a freelance work situation, and in 2018 I got a full-time job. It was later in 2018 that I started to feel that I wasn't really expressing my more creative side as much. Yes, there's creativity in design, but I wanted something that was more freeform. So I started Arch.fro as that release, that point that I could build upon whatever creative artistic avenue I already have. And I've been loving it. I kept it very minimal, it's just black and white, and I'm seeing how much I can build on that. I started Arch.fro in, I think it was August of 2018, so that I would have time to build up for Inktober. And of course, during Inktober, I was doing as many drawings as possible based on the prompts. Then I wanted to do something more that would develop even further. So that's where I started my online store, and in December, I started on YouTube. That's why you're with me right now. It was thanks to that push that I got here, and I'm learning more and more every day, and I'm learning how to be more expressive and use my art. So that's my 2019. It will be that push to grow even further and learn more, do more, and try more. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'd love to see you guys along the way. If you like this video, let me know, leave a comment, and you can hit the like button. If you want to, you can subscribe, and even more so, if you want to, you can check out my Instagram @Arch.fro. That's where this all started, and I'd love to have you guys as part of the community. Alright, until next time.